My name is JB and I'm a registered nurse in the state of New York. Today I'm going to talk about how to be a registered nurse in the New York State by examination as of January 2022. So if you chose New York State as your state to become a registered nurse in the United States, you are in the right channel. Please don't forget to like, comment, or subscribe. So without further ado, let's get started. In New York State, licenses of most professions is regulated by the New York State Education Department / the New York State Office of the Professions, and one of them is registered professional nursing or simply registered nurse. You must be licensed and registered by the New York State Education Department or NYSED or NYSED as a registered professional nurse to practice nursing as an RN or refer to yourself as an RN, registered nurse, or registered professional nurse in New York State. So the criteria to be licensed are to be licensed and registered as a registered nurse in New York State. You must be of good moral character, be at least 18 years of age, graduate from a nursing education program acceptable to NYSED or NYSED, complete New York State required infection control coursework and child abuse reporting coursework, pass the National Council Licensure Examination for registered nurses or NCLEX-RN, or another license examination acceptable to NYSED, and apply for an RN license with NYSED or NYSED. So, what are the advantages of applying as a registered nurse in New York State in the United States? This is as of January 2022. So, just a disclaimer here, changes can be made anytime by New York State Office of the Professions without prior notice. And make sure to keep updated by visiting the NYSED website from time to time. So what are the advantages though? Number one, it's very easy, convenient, and straightforward. You can apply without a social security number, and you will be issued a registered nurse license without social security number, unlike other states which requires your social security number in order to be licensed as a registered nurse. If you have social security number though, or you have received your SSN, you must disclose it to NYSED as soon as possible as required. So this is good news for non-US residents and mostly to internationally educated nurses. Number 3, you have unlimited NCLEX-RN examinations until you pass. You do not undergo criminal record check or you do your fingerprinting. You do not need to be a registered nurse in your country of origin. You do not need to require CGFNS service. You do not need to take IELTS as long as English is the medium of instruction used in completing your nursing degree and used English textbooks. And last but not the least, you can apply directly online and no need for paper application. So, what are the steps in applying for RN license by examination in New York State? Number 1, step 1. According to NYSED, there are 5 pathways to register as RN by examination, including internationally educated nurses. You have to choose a pathway for applying for licensure as an RN in New York State. So RN pathway number 1 is for graduates of New York State approved nursing schools and never licensed as an RN. Pathway number 2 for graduates of nursing schools in another state or a U.S. territory and never licensed as an RN. Pathway 3 For RNs who have been licensed in another state or U.S. territory and who have graduated from nursing school in the United States. Pathway number 4 for RN applicants with recent Canadian BSN, BN, or NSCN degrees. And pathway number 5 for graduates of foreign nursing schools outside the United States and its territories. So, pathways 1 to 4 is very easy and straightforward since these graduates completed their nursing degree in North America and their institution is already familiar with the NYSED, with how NYSED verifies their education. So they're already familiar of how NYSED verifies the nursing degree of these graduates from North America. However, I want to focus my attention to pathway number 5, which is for internationally educated nurses. So, for foreign graduates of nursing school, so they have a different pathway. So I'll discuss it later. Step number 2 is the fee for licensure, and first registration is $143 US, and fee for limited permit, which is optional, is $35 US. And this limited permit is only for those graduates who have never taken the NCLEX-RN. So you can have that permit. If you took already the NCLEX and you fail, you cannot get this permit. It's only for those first-time takers that are ready to take the NCLEX. So they can, it's like a graduate nurse. They can get this permit in order to work at the hospital while waiting for the results of the NCLEX-RN. So you have to submit online form number 1, which is application for licensure RN. I'll show you. So this is the form. So this is the form for the online application as a registered nurse. So it's Office of the Professions, it's for registered nurse, and then before you begin the registered nurse application, what are you applying for? It's either you apply for a new license or renew an existing license registration. So for those who want to register, you have to click apply for a new license and then just read everything before you click begin application. It's very simple. You just have to follow the instructions. So before you begin, you need your contact information, your mailing and email addresses and phone numbers. Your name in this application must exactly match the name on your photo identification, such as a passport, and the name listed in your NCLEX registration. If you hold other professional licenses, you will need to enter the license number, issue date, and jurisdiction. You are responsible for having all required documentation submitted for review and approval by the department. Information about any criminal action that you have, or like a misdemeanor or felony or professional disciplinary action. You will have the opportunity to upload relevant documents. So for example, in the moral character portion, if you say yes to one of those questions, you must have like a relevant document that supports your answer. And your application file will not be reviewed until all required documentation has been received. So just follow the steps and then just click begin application. That's it. Just follow everything. It's very simple. And just a heads up, for applicants without social security number, you must finish the application from start to finish, pay the registration fee, and receive acknowledgement from NYSED or NYSED with your application number, since you cannot save and access your progress without Social Security number. The system will always ask for your SSN in order to gain access and continue what you have started. However, you can only access your account for uploading documents only. So if you don't have a Social Security number, you need to finish the application from start to finish, or else you have to restart again. You cannot save your progress because the computer or the system needs your Social Security number to access and finish your progress. If you have a Social Security number though, you must disclose it to NYSED as required. Then step number 3 is you need to take 2 mandated courseworks, which is the Child Abuse Reporting and Infection Control, and upload certificates online on NYSED. So what I did on my case was I went to eLearn. It's elearnonline.net. It is an approved coursework from NYSED. You can, if you don't want this, you can just Google some courses online from a different website, but I did with eLearn for my courses for the mandated infection control and child abuse reporting. So it's very easy. You just have to create your account and then fill out the information, and then you just click, and then you have to pay for your courses. Each course has a different fee, and then I think you have to pass. After reading the course, you have to pass the test so that you can receive a certificate. And I think you only have 2 to 3 times to pass your test, because if you fail on the 3rd time, you will have to repay or pay again the coursework. So to save money, you must pass the test after you read your courseworks, and then upload your certificates to your account with NYSED, which is a requirement to become a registered nurse in New York State. However, you may qualify for an exemption from New York's child abuse reporting coursework requirement if you can demonstrate that during your nursing practice, you will not have contact with persons under the age of 18 or residents of nursing homes or residential care schools. You can request this exemption when you apply for your license. You may also qualify for an exemption from New York's infection control coursework requirement if you can show NYSED or NYSED that you took infection control training that is equivalent to NYSED required infection control coursework, or taking infection control coursework is not necessary due to the nature of your nursing practice. You can request this exemption when you apply for your license. Okay, let's move forward to step number 4. To meet the education requirements for licensure as a registered nurse, you must graduate from a nursing education program acceptable to the New York State Education Department. You must graduate from a nursing education program that meets one of the 3 criteria below. The first criteria, a nursing education program like associate's, bachelor's or master's degree or diploma program registered by NYSED as licensed qualifying for registered nurse, or a nursing education program located in another state or U.S. territory if approved by the licensing authority of the state or U.S. territory as preparation for practice as an RN. So U.S. territories include Puerto Rico, Guam, U.S. Virgin Islands, Northern Mariana Islands, and American Samoa. Or you could have a general nursing education program located in a country outside of the United States or its territories which is acceptable to NYSED. So number 3 is the case for internationally educated nurses because they completed their nursing degree outside of the United States. For graduates in the United States and US territories, just read and follow pathway 1 to 4, including the Canadian graduates, because as what I've said a while ago, these graduates completed their nursing degrees in North America and their institution is already familiar of how NYSED verifies their nursing education. So it's very easy and it should be straightforward. Now, I want to focus my attention to graduates outside the United States and US territories because you will have 2 options on how NYSED will verify your nursing education or your nursing license outside of the US as a registered nurse. So you have 2 options. Option 1, you must arrange to have the Commission on Graduate of Foreign Nursing Schools or CGFNS to verify your nursing education credentials to the NYSED or NYSED using the CGFNS Credential Verification Service for New York State. And in order for you to apply for this verification is you need to have a CGFNS account. If you have a CGFNS account, then you will have a CGFNS number which will be asked by New York State Education Department when you apply for your registration, which is the online form. So the credential verification service for New York State is exclusive only. This verification is exclusive only for New York State. Other states require the CES report, which is different from the verification service for New York State. If you were also licensed as a nurse in a foreign country, you must arrange the NYSED or NYSED to receive verification of your nursing license from the licensing authority that issued it. You don't have to do this because the credential verification service for New York State already includes the verification of your nursing education and nursing license as a registered nurse obtained outside of the United States. So it's like 2 in 1. However, if you don't want to spend money or you don't have a CGFNS account, then don't worry, you will have option 2. The good thing about registering with the New York State is you will be given 2 options for the internationally educated nurses. So for option 2, you must arrange to have your credentials verified by your foreign nursing school using a certification of professional education or Form 2F. The school will certify your education on Form 2 and send it along with your official transcript and any other required documentation to NYSED. If your transcript is in a language other than English, you must arrange to have it translated by a translation services acceptable to NYSED. If you were licensed as a nurse in a foreign country, you must arrange for NYSED to receive verification of your nursing license from the licensing authority that issued your license using a verification of foreign professional licensure certification or Form 3F. So I'm going to show you the Form 2F and Form 3F. One moment. So this is the certification of professional education Form 2F. This form must be submitted directly by the nursing school that made you eligible to take the NCLEX examination. The Office of the Professions will not accept this form if you submitted it by yourself. So this is form number 2. So this is form number 2, Certification of Professional Education. So section 1, you have to fill this out. You need to print this form. You fill out section 1. is section 1, and then section 2 will be filled out by your registrar in the institution where you graduated as a nurse, like a Bachelor of Science in Nursing course. So section 2 is for the registrar, section 1 is for yourself. You have to fill it out, make sure no erasures, everything's correct, and then this form will be submitted directly by your nursing institution together with the required documents, because they will attach your transcript here or certification that you graduated your Bachelor of Science in Nursing in that school. So it's just very easy and straightforward. So that's nurse form number 2, certification of professional education. Let's proceed to form 3F. So verification of other professional licensure certification. So just like the form 2F, the section 1 of the form must be completed by you. You have to complete this section, and then you have to date and sign it, and then section 2 will be completed by the licensing certifying authority of your license as a registered nurse in your country. They need to sign, date, and return both pages of the form directly to the Office of the Professions at the address at the end of the form, and they have to attach a document that proves that you are a registered nurse in your country. So this is form number 3. So the first section is you need to fill this out. This is nurse form number 3, verification of other professional licensure or certification. And you just have to follow it. And then section 2 is going to be filled out by the licensing authority where you get your license as an RN in your country of origin. So very straightforward. So that's nurse form number 2, F, and form number 3. Okay, let's move forward. Step number 5, register to take the NCLEX-RN with Person View or Person View. Go to www.personview.com/NCLEX, or you can call them at 1-866-496-2539. Guys, I need you to visit the website rather than calling them, because it's very busy. Going to the website is very easy and straightforward and not time consuming. So when you go to the website, fill out the necessary information and follow instructions properly. You will have to pay $200 for the registration and $150 plus tax, depending on your country. Additional international scheduling fee. So this international scheduling fee will only be charged to you if you sit and write the NCLEX-RN outside the United States and its territory. So if you sit and write your NCLEX inside the United States, then you don't have to pay $150 plus tax. If you write your NCLEX outside the United States, like in Canada, Hong Kong, Philippines, in Manila, and so on and so forth, you need to pay additional $150 plus tax. Then you will receive an email from NYSED indicating that your education is approved after you register. If all of your documents are already complete and then you have already registered to take the NCLEX-RN, you will receive an email from NYSED indicating that your education is approved and you are now eligible to take the NCLEX-RN. Processing time depends on the number of applicants and processed in the order for which it was received. You can check the update for applications processed on the NYSED website. Step number 6. After approval, wait for your ATT or authorization to test. I'm so sorry guys, that's not authorization to take, that's authorization to test, as it will be sent through email by NYSED. You need the ATT or your authorization to test to be able to schedule your exam on person view. You cannot schedule to take your test without it. And just a disclaimer, if you do not automatically receive your ATT in your email within 48 hours after you register with person view, you can then call or contact NYSED through their Contact Us form in their website, online, or follow up by calling the office. For those who are outside of the United States or North America, use the country code +1, then dial 518-474-3817 extension 280. That's country code +1 518-474-3817 extension 280. So once your ATT is received, you may now schedule for your exam on person view. Remember, your ATT also contains the validity dates for which you can take the test. Once expired and you haven't taken the test, you will have to pay another $200 and another $150 plus tax if you're outside United States in order to schedule and take the test. So you need to be careful and check the validity dates of your ATT. You must write the NCLEX within those validity dates so that you won't be paying another $200, which is like you're not saving money if you keep on paying. So you must be religiously check the validity dates of your ATT. And number 8, take your NCLEX-RN with the right knowledge and confidence. You must be emotionally ready to take this test. So you may ask questions about what happens after taking the NCLEX-RN. So the first thing is that after taking the test, you will receive an email from person view indicating that you have already completed the test. And if you have any questions, you can contact them. So every test taker of the NCLEX-RN receives this email like around after 30 minutes or 1 hour after taking the test. It's not an indicator that if you receive this email, you either pass or fail. No, every test taker receives this email. I also received this email when I took the NCLEX-RN. Number 2, you can access quick results on person view after 48 hours or 2 business days of taking the test with a minimal fee of $7.95 US to check whether you pass or fail. This will be your unofficial result. Please remember that only the New York State Office of the Professions or NYSED can provide you with the official result. The state board is the only one who can provide you your official result and not person view. Number 3, if you fail, you will receive an NCLEX Candidate Performance Report, or what we call CPR, in the mail from New York State Office of the Professions or NYSED, which explains how you perform in each of the test plan, whether you are below, near the passing, or above the passing standard. This also acts as a guide to prepare you to retake the test. Now, if you fail the test, you will have 45 days after you took the test to retake the test. So you have to wait 45 days to retake the test. If you pass and qualify for a license, we're on number 4. If you pass and qualify for a license as an RN, New York State Education Department will issue you a license parchment and a registration certificate within 2 weeks or 30 days after you took the test. and you will receive it in the mail in a big white envelope. So the processing of this will depend if you have fulfilled all required documents to be licensed as an RN. So make sure your documents are complete so that you will be able to receive your license parchment on time and your registration certificate. Your license is valid for life unless it is surrendered, revoked, annulled, or suspended by the New York State Board of Regents. However, your RN registration certificate will authorize you to practice as an RN for 3 years in New York State. The second registration after licensure is shortened to move your re-registration period to align with your month of birth. Your registration renewal fee will be prorated for that period. You must renew your registration every 3 years to continue to practice as an RN in New York State. You are not legally allowed to practice as an RN while your registration is expired. So you need to renew your RN registration certificate so that you can practice legally in New York State. Number 6. Once licensed, your name will appear on NYSED License Verification Online tool together with your license number in about 2 weeks after the test. So in order to do this, go to their website, NYSED License Verification Online. On the drop-down menu, scroll down, choose and click Nurse RN, then type your last name space, not comma, last name space, and then your first name, then click enter, and you'll be able to see your name and then your license number on the left side. Also, New York participates in NYSED. However, you must allow about 3 weeks after being licensed for your name to appear when being searched and verified as RN in the United States. So you allow 3 weeks for your name to appear on NYSED. And number 7, for repeat test takers, you do not have to complete online form number 1 again and pay the fees. You just need to re-register again with Person View, wait for ATT or your authorization to test, and then schedule your test and retake the test. That is as of January 2022. So unlike other states, you don't have to complete online form 1 again and pay fees. So that's why this is one of the advantages of being registered in the New York State, because if you fail NCLEX, you can just re-register directly to Person View and then wait for your ATT and then retake the test. So number 8, remember to know your core content when taking NCLEX-RN. You must be emotionally ready to take this test. You must also have the right knowledge and confidence in order to succeed. Study, 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 and believe in yourself and be optimistic. I know you can do it. And number 9, for New York State Education Department frequently asked questions, you can visit their website at www.op.nysed.gov. That's www.op.nysed.gov. If you have any clarifications, you can just visit their website. Especially when you print and download your forms, you can visit their website. It's very easy and straightforward. So guys, I hope I was very helpful to you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Good luck to all of you and see you in the next video. Happy nursing and you have a lovely day. Bye.